Hi, in this video I want to see if we can improve this place system from a 37% strike rate, a 56.39% ROI, and try and lower that longest losing run as well. So stay tuned and we'll take a look at it. Hi, it's Malcolm here, and if you don't know me, I am a creator of tools for the betting market, and TTS Plus is one of my research tools that I've created to allow people to look at racing in different ways during the day, look at ratings, come up with ratings and that kind of thing. I've been doing it for the last 20 years, and in this video we're going to have a look at this place system, which is quite a simple place system, and see what we can do to improve it. So if we come down, the first thing I am going to do is I'm going to take a screenshot of the monthly results and the actual roundup so that we can see what's happening as we go along. So I just take those screenshots here. Now, one thing I should clarify before we go on is I actually added it to my saves on the 26th of the 6th of 2024. And today is the 29th of the 8th 2024, so basically a couple of months ago. So in those 2 months, we could just look at those 2 months. I'll just show you that. 26 and submit. The great thing about TTS is we can actually look at systems from different date ranges, and if we add it, we can just leave it there and come back and have a look later on. So it's not setting the world alight at 16 points, but it's not bad. I mean, you can't scoff at 16 points profit on a place system over a couple of months. So that's definitely worth looking at. We've only had 59 selections. So if you're one of those that kind of go, well, unless we get 100 or 200 selections or whatever it is, then that doesn't really tell us a lot. I agree with you, it's worth having more selections. So we've got a bit to go, but at least we can have a look at it and see how it's been doing since I actually put it into the system or into my saves and went from there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it back so we've got a bit better date range. This system only goes back 11 months anyway, because I only introduced the green rating 11 months ago, or to the 11th of last year. So that's why there isn't much more. So it doesn't really matter if I go back to 21st. If we have a look at it, if I've got that right, we can see that, you know, basically I put the green ratings in on the 11th month of last year, and that's how much information we have to go on. The green rating comes from another piece of software that we call TTS, which is basically very similar. It's not similar to this. It's actually daily race cards that are color coded, and so the green rating comes from the color coding. But if you look at any of my other videos, you'll probably see something about TTS anyway. I'll leave a link to my other videos in the description below. So this is a relatively simple system. I don't always like mixing race types, but we're going to leave it for now, AW flat hurdle, because it seems to kind of work. We could actually have a quick look at the race type using these quick analyze buttons. Now what these actually do is kind of quickly and dirty work out profit and loss based on the different ratings available. So if we look here, the AWF definitely up there as one of the big earners, 133 points. Flat has given us 40 points, and hurdle has only given us 13 points. And hurdle has actually given us a bit of a lower strike rate, so we could theoretically take that out as well. It may be worth just going for flat and AW, but I'm just going to leave it for now. And if you've got TTS, then that's something you can look at. If you want more information about TTS Plus, then put a comment in the comments and just say more info on TTS Plus, and I'll send you some info about it. Okay, so better than rank, how do I explain that? Okay, so we have a BSP ranking system. Well, Betfair have a BSP ranking system. So a favourite would be BSP rank 1, second favourite would be BSP rank 2, etc, etc. So say a runner had a BSP rank of 3, but it finished second. So in fact, it's done better than we were expecting it to do before the race. So in my system, that would be given a score of 1. Now, if the next race, it was BSP rank, say 2, but it came 4th, then it would get a -1. So basically, it would be back to a 0. So basically, what I'm doing is adding up the ranks and how well they've placed against those ranks, and then add them into a scoring system, which is basically this. So it gives us basically all the way up to, I've put it up to 30 and down to -30, which kind of covers most horses, I would think. So there's that. Number of runners, 7 to 50, standard. Obviously, you can change that, but for this system, it's been put at 7 to 50. Tipster rank, that's a ranking we've got on tipsters, 2 to 5. So yeah, we'll come and have a look at that in a minute. AVG2 rank, there's a number of rankings I've got based on filters of different ways we look at the racing every day and filter out the horses. AVG1, AVG2, AVG3 and AVG4 are all different types of ratings about the horses. And AVG2 we've put 2 to 5 on this occasion, and then as I said, we've got the green rating of 4 to 4. This system is really based around the green rated and better than rank. Now what I do is I'll show you about that, because if we go 0 to 6 and click submit, okay, and we go down, you can see there's a lot more selections, and it's going to take a little tiny bit longer to load this because there's a lot more selections to look at, because basically we've turned off the green rating, so now there's just not 1 month, sorry, not just those 11 months, but it goes back to 2021. So but what we do is if we use the quick analyze buttons, okay, which are here, and these basically give you, and I'll show you, a quick analyze of profit and loss depending on the rating. Now you'll notice that we got a 0 rating there, and that's something new that I didn't realise until I created this, that actually there seems to be some profit in a lot of horses that haven't got a green rating. But I'm going to put some new feature on TTS which allows you to look at that. At the moment you can't, but I'm going to put a new feature on that allows you to look at that in the next couple of weeks. But we're looking at 4, which is down here, and you can see none of the others are profitable apart from this 4. 5 could turn out to be profitable at some time, because, you know, again, that's probably a better one. But we're going to go for 4. So that's why that's in there as 4. So we put that back. Okay, so when I create systems, I like to look at the different values and say, well, does that make a difference? So we've taken that screenshot. So let's turn back to the number of runners and submit that. Okay, and what we get is actually we get slightly, actually I'll just shrink this down a little bit so we can add it over here. So slightly more selections, obviously. Longest losing run has actually dropped from 17 to 8, which is quite interesting. The strike rate has dropped slightly, 37. I'll put that over this side now. 37.05. Predicted longest run is the same. 187 points. So we've lost a few points, and we've lost a bit of ROI. But the thing I actually do like about that is that the longest losing run has dropped. And when it comes to, you know, gambling, the less losers you have, the happier you are. So I'm going to leave that actually now, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a screenshot of this. I'll just do the months, and the months have got a little bit, well, this month hasn't, but a little bit more stable. So we'll do a screenshot of that, and I'll have another look at some of the other ideas. So let's turn off AVG rank 2 and see what that gives us. So we go to AVG 2, and we got 2 to 4, which is, I think we had 2 to 5, didn't we? So we got 2 to 4 now. So let's put that in, because it's slightly different. So I don't know how that's going to play out over time. But let's have a look at that now. We've gone up to 190 points now. We've gone to a 38% strike rate. So from 36 to 70, 36.76 to 38.11. Highest bank drawdown has gone down to 21.47, and longest, it's gone up a little bit to 23.18, but longest losing run has gone down to 7, and predicted losing run's gone down because the strike rate's gone up slightly. ROI is up to 58%, profit is up to 190. So we'll now take a screenshot of that. So we've got slightly better. Still got a losing month there, but that's increased a bit and that's dropped slightly. But overall, I think those 2 months are a little bit better. So we'll grab that. And 7 longest losing run is better again. Okay, so we've got to that stage, so we'll close that window. Okay, so now I'm going to have a look at tips to rank. So let's turn off tips to rank and see what tips to rank gives us. So it doesn't make a lot of difference really. 2 to 5, 1 to 5. It's not going to change. That's just what's come up for some reason. So we will just use that anyway. 2 to 5. So we might as well just use that. Okay, so we're back where we were. Okay, so unfortunately at the moment I haven't got a better than rank quick analyze. That's something I'm going to be putting in. I've started to add these over the last few weeks, and every week I'm going to try and add more and more of them in. So I haven't got that one better than rank at the moment, but probably will have in the next week or so. So let's have a look at a couple of other things. Let's look at last time out. That's always an interesting one to look at. So last time out, you could argue that there's negative profit on first and second. The strike rate is on 0 is a bit bad. I just don't think that there's enough numbers to actually say yes, we should actually look at that. You could do if you want, but I'm not going to actually do that. We could have a look at a couple of the other, what else have we got here? We could have a look at a rank, so like the 11 AM rank, which is the rank pricing. And again, you could argue that 11 AM rank we could leave out. With 23 selections, that's not a bad thing. And if you look right down here, that but these are all sort of minuses, so you could do something there, but I'm not going to actually do that. I'll leave that up to you to have a look at. So we'll do number of runners again. Just have another look. Yeah, so you can see where that 7 upwards came from, but yeah, I'm going to leave that because I like it because the longest losing run went down. So let's have a look at a couple of these other AVGs. So we haven't looked at AVG 1, so only 2 have come up, which probably makes sense anyway because we've selected a small range of AVG 2. So we'll look at AVG 3. So again, it's not going to really make a difference. Most of them are on AVG 1, a number 1 anyway. So if we have a look at AVG 4, that's a bit more interesting, I suppose. But again, there's nothing there really to grab unless you wanted to improve your strike rate. So this is a classic. You could look at it from this point of view and say, okay, well, there are obviously better strike rates down here, but this is where everything seems to be happening. So if we have a look at AVG 4 1 to 3, just to get an idea of what that actually means. So it's kind of not really done us any good. It's got a lot less selections. Longest losing run is still 7. Highest bank drawdown has gone down to 14.43, so that might be interesting to you. And the strike rate's gone up to 41. We've lost some profit, but our ROI's gone up as well. So there's some really good things on that. If you don't mind the odd losing run, which is basically what's kind of happened. But that's dropped a lot of profit off this month as well. So I don't know, it could be something. I mean, the thing is, when you start getting low losing runs, you can start thinking about possibly how you're going to stake against it. So we have like standard ones like 1 up and win back to normal. So basically, you know, you could put your stake up by 1. So if you were staking £1 and you lost, the next stake would be £2. The next stake would be 3. I'll show you actually on a losing run here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that winner brings it back down to 1, 2. Recovery staking is one of those things that you need to think about yourself. I'm not saying that you should do that, and you definitely shouldn't, but it's there as a kind of way to look at things if you want to have a look at them. So we could leave that with that rating as well, because apart from losing some profit, I'll turn off that back to normal. Apart from losing some profit and having a little bit of a slightly rougher time on the losing and that kind of thing, it doesn't look too bad, especially return on investment. We're getting less selection, so you know, you might want more than 14 selections a month or whatever. But we're starting to get down into really low numbers now, and this is where it can get a little bit difficult. We went to 1 point. That's first rank was probably bound to come up as 1. TTS score is probably close to that as well. Oh, okay. Weird. Yeah, so we wouldn't bother about that, I don't think. So yeah, that's, I hope, giving you some ideas whether you want a lower losing run, longest losing run, or whether ROI's more important to you, or strike rate, or highest bank drawdown. You can change the system. As you can see, we've changed the system based on how you feel about it. I would probably personally, if I was going to change this now, would probably go back 1, and I think I would personally, this is personally of course, I think I kind of like that one. And if I was going to be you know, go for a kind of some kind of recovery, if I really felt like it was worth it, then I would probably do 1 up. And you can see that it works pretty well to do it that way. You know, that's could have given you 541 points profit. Obviously that's what happened in the past. If we take it over the last couple of months, as we said before, since I kind of put it into the system, so 26, submit, then yeah, it looks a little bit better, there's no doubt about that. It hasn't affected it much because we haven't had that many losing runs. We've had 6, but I think we've done reasonably well over those last couple of months. There's been a couple of losing runs, but there's been a lot of winners in between, including that big one there. So you know, if you look at it like that, then sometimes it helps and sometimes it doesn't. Okay, so hopefully that's kind of shown you again what you can do with the creating a system, saving a system and coming back to it later on if you want to do, and also how you can use the quick analyze buttons to actually figure out the best ways to go with your system. And it makes it very, very quick to look at different elements. You know, so if you wanted to see age, straight away you can see where the profit is on age. We're right down to low sample sizes now as well, so we'd have to be a little bit careful. But you can see 3-year-olds have got a good strike rate, and so have 5 and 6. 4's low at the moment, but it's 5 selections, you can't really go on that kind of thing. But anyway, that's one particular place system. There are lots of other systems you can create with TTS Plus. If you want any more information about TT Plus, please ask for it in the comments. And thank you for watching. If you're watching this on YouTube, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe to the channel and leave any comments. I'll be more than happy to answer them when I get a chance to do that. Okay, I will see you in the next video. Take it easy. Bye bye.